Morning Year 6. So today's challenge is a little bit trickier, converting from one unit of measure over to another one. And here we're starting with converting from kilometres into miles. And the information you'll be given is that 5 miles is equivalent to 8 kilometres. They're the same. Looks tricky to begin with, but remember, it's a fraction of amount. So we've been given 24 kilometres. So we divide that into 8 parts. And there's my bar model there. And I'll divide that into 8 equal parts. Okay, so obviously 24 divided by 8 gives us 3. Okay, and then remember we've divided by the denominator, we then times by the numerator, so we times it by 5, and that will give us how many miles there are in 24 kilometres, because remember they're equal parts. So I can now see from this that there are 15 miles in 24 kilometres. Okay, so we divided by the denominator times by the numerator. Let's now look at it the other way around. If we were to do miles to kilometres, we need to actually switch our fractions there, end up with an improper fraction, and we end up with miles as the denominator and kilometres as the numerator. So let's look at converting then 25 miles into kilometres. So I've got my miles there. We divide by the denominator. I'll divide it into 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is equal parts honest. How does that then lead us to the kilometres? Well, we then times it by 8. So I don't want just 5 equal parts. I want 8 equal parts. There's our 5. 6, 7, 8. And this is the kilometres here. Well, 25 divided by 5 gave us 5 there. So we can confidently say these obviously will be 5 here. And remember, when you're dealing with fractions of amounts, they're equal parts. So I can confidently say that these also will be worth 5. Therefore, we did 25 divided by 5. We've timesed it by 8. So now I can say that 25 miles is 40 kilometres. Keep referring back to this formula here. And now we've got inches to centimetres. 1 inch is worth 2.5 centimetres. So if I was to find find out how many centimetres are in 9 inches, I could obviously continue my bar model for quite some time and then keep adding on 1 inch and adding on 2.5. Or the quicker and simpler way would simply to do 2.5 times 9. Okay, and remember, put your decimal point in there to help you calculate. 5 times 9, 45. 2 times 9, obviously 18. Add the 4, 22.5 centimetres will be our answer there. So let's take a look at the other way. Well, obviously we multiplied. So this time we're actually going to divide. But I would not even attempt for this to do bus stop. You're going to end up in an absolute mess if you try bus stop for that. There are a few methods you could use. You could turn 2.5 into 5, divide it by 5, and then double your answer. Or some of you might find it simpler to use a number line and to chunk away at it. So there's my number line there. Well, there's 0 centimetres and 30 centimetres there. Well, I could take away a nice big chunk to begin with, because 10 inches is going to be worth, so I've got to 10 inches here, this will be 10 inches. And obviously 10 times 2.5 is going to be 25, so it gets me to 25 centimetres. Therefore, I've got 5 centimetres left. Well, 2.5 more takes me to 27.5. Okay, so that's 1 more inch. And then another inch is another 2.5, gets me to the magic 30 there. So I can say there are 12 inches in 30 centimetres. Okay, so there's a lot to take in there, and there are a lot of questions on my maths this morning. So I'm not going to give you any questions to do here. Best of luck.